other than being a dog, because that's what Salukis are. I would say Salukis, we give it the old college try. We don't give it 100%, but like 80 to 90%. And then, we always, it works out for us. We don't always get the top of the class, but hey, we tried our darndest. Go to class, kids.
I think to me, being a Saluki is really like embracing teamwork, working with other people, especially something I've learned being in advertising is you're gonna work with people, you're gonna have to work with people. It works better that way. So being a Saluki to me is finding your people, joining groups, and participating.
Being a Saluki to me, what I've learned from it is it's funny because it's how it fits well into what I want for a dream job and what I see as my nightmare, because like being a Saluki, the reason that I ended up coming here and what I've found to be the most important factor of being a Saluki is that when I came here I didn't feel like a number. Like I went on a lot of college visits, I've been to a lot of colleges, it's been a long road coming here. And everywhere I felt like I was just like part of the visit. Like I was just another student coming on their visits, seeing their campus. When I came to SIU, I felt very much like they actually wanted to get to know who I was. And being here, it was a very similar experience where it felt like a lot of the teachers do want you to find your place and find out what you're good at, find success. They want to know who you are, you're a real person, etc., rather than just like, let's get your salary high when you leave so that our salaries of graduates look good, let's get you in a good placement so that our placements look good. It wasn't like that as much, and it was way more like, let's give you opportunities, the rest is on you to create something.
My sewage pipe just went off and dumped a lot of water into the yard, and I thought, that's what it means to be a Saluki. What it means to be a Saluki is a tricky question to me. In terms of branding for the university, I never really felt like a dog or a Saluki per se, but I did feel a kindred spirit to the other students that were around me. I feel like a lot of our experiences were similar. Even in little things, like if you go for a walk around Campus Lake and there's other students out there, you kind of feel this kindred connection to them when you're passing them by. Like, yeah, we both had the idea. Let's go to this one park bench by the lake, and now we have to awkwardly, I'm going to go to the other bench, but I'm going to stare at you at this bench. Being a Saluki means adapting to changes, being able to kind of think on your feet a lot, because not a lot of structure was around. It was a lot of controlled chaos in terms of my college education. But there's also a discipline that you want in there. You want to be able to connect with your other students. You want to be able to discipline yourself to go further, and you want to be able to adapt to overcome anything.
What does Saluki mean to me? It actually means a lot, because my great-grandmother graduated from SIU Carbondale. My mom graduated from SIU Carbondale, and now I am too. And so it's kind of just like third generation runs in the family. And so like whenever I got out of high school, there was no question about where I was going. I knew I was going to SIU.
Being a Saluki to me means being passionate about your craft. I've always thought Carbondale is a great training ground for the art and things that you want to make, because there's an audience that is willing to support whatever you want to make. And I think that part of being a Saluki is having the drive to be able to accomplish what you want to and learn along the way to get to where you are. I think that's really important, and I can tell that the students that I work with too have that same drive.
I don't care about sports, but I care about Saluki sports. Like, that's like something I'm not interested in at all. I really care about when it comes to SIU, and I really care about the people I know and like the staff there who have made like personal connections with me. It's just like one of the best times have been like goofing off with professors in between classes. I think being a Saluki, my grandfather was a Saluki, my mom and my dad were a Saluki, my stepmom was a Saluki. So like it's a family thing, and being a part of that was really cool for me.
Being a Saluki to me means, well, I mean, there's the obvious answer that means you went to SIU, but I mean, the less obvious answer to me means, you're hardworking and you're determined to succeed. I don't know a single Saluki who hasn't, so.
To me, it's like a great big family. Like, we have so many people and professors that you can just sit down and talk with any point that you want. It's all about like those late nights where you find a cockroach in the lab, or where someone like just late night film processing, because when I did that, I was sitting there 2-3 hours and crunch time and whatnot. So I enjoy being in the environment, but especially it's all about the people. It's all about the people and making those connections.
To be a Saluki to me means to be different. I find that a lot of people that went to SIU weren't looking for the traditional go to school, rah, pep. Really, to me, it was a lot of students who just wanted to go and do their own thing and then kind of just have the freedom to do that. So to me, to be a Saluki just means to be different.
I chose SIU over other schools because it had the program I needed, but it was also a university with a bunch of different people from all kinds of different majors and interests coming into it, versus a more specific college, which would be more focused on like the art and the cinema stuff that I was supposed to be studying. Although I wanted to be able to get experience in a bunch of different areas. I wanted to be able to join the marching band. I wanted to be able to find groups of people that had different majors but still similar interests, and just I believe that just because this is the thing you want to do, it doesn't have to be the only thing that you do. You can get involved in a whole bunch of other stuff. So I feel like being at SIU has been the better opportunity to be more involved and be more well-rounded as much as I can be, and to experience more than just what I came there to study.
I found SIU by accident. I came to SIU because of a girl, and I came down here, and on top of falling in love with the girl, I fell in love with the school, and I got involved in every single way that I could. I worked for the football team for 2 seasons. For the 2 seasons that I was there, I was an orientation leader with new student programs. I was the rec center and student health center's digital social media marketing specialist. I was part of MCM. I helped out wherever I could, and I think that's what being a Saluki means to me.
Kind of like I want to Google like one of those Saluki commercials and be like, da. I mean, it's like, I guess I would say like a go-getter kind of aspect.
But what does it mean to be a Saluki? Have campus pride? Salukis they're pack animals. They're together. Like at SIU, I've never been like alone. I've had a good group of people around me in classes, outside of classes, and I'm really thankful for that. And to be a Saluki, you have a lot of support and a lot of different support groups and places across campus that are there to help you be successful. So Salukis are successful.
It's kind of like a family tradition. Like both of my parents went to school here, and that definitely had a big impact on me going here. At first, I actually was planning on going almost anywhere but here because I lived here my whole life. But then I was like, you know what? Like, it's not all that bad, and I ended up having a really good experience. I honestly think being a Saluki is just kind of having this like sense of pride and like belonging that I feel like a lot of students kind of feel. Just like Carbondale is like a very homely place.
So being a Saluki means, what it means to me is the connections that I made there and kind of having a home and all across the entire country, because we're all over the place, and gaining those experiences that you'll never forget.
Dang, that's a thinker. I think to me being a Saluki just means that you're willing to like work with people, that you're willing to put yourself out there and you're willing to do what needs to be done at the end of the day to get it done. Because I think the most important part of me surviving at SIU was getting involved and meeting people and having those opportunities. And I think that being a Saluki is just about getting up and going out there and running the best possible race that you can, and then, you know, starting over and trying the next day and trying the next day and working with people to better yourself and become better. And I think that's what being a Saluki is about. And I think that's one thing that like all of us students are really feel. You know, we all support each other because this is the type of environment where you have to do that. And I feel like, you know, I've certainly adapted to that mindset and that mentality over the time. And I think that to me is what being a Saluki means. It's just growing and becoming better and working with others in order to do that.
It means doing your best and pushing yourself to be the best you could be, and taking advice and giving advice as freely as you can.
Being a Saluki just represents opportunity that I wouldn't have at maybe a larger school, or, you know, quote unquote more prestigious school. Being a Saluki really means to me being able to really have the chance to join groups like the Ad Lab and get hands-on experience instead, and more real-world experience instead of just something that's entirely 100% pure academic research based. The hands-on experience I'm really thinking is going to come in handy.
To me, it kind of gives me like a feeling of home, because, you know, I've lived in a different, like way different state, like halfway across the country, and I've went to college there, and it's like completely different, like going to college with people you have no idea who they are, you don't know the area, versus people that, yeah, you may not know them, but they're still like, some of them are from the area, or they understand the area, the culture, and it's just very homey. That's like the biggest thing that I feel like really about being a Saluki.